Hey there, everyone. Thanks for stopping in. Welcome to another live stream. Tonight, we're going to be experimenting with a bunch of airbrush stuff. I wanted to do airbrushing for years and years and years and years and years. I remember having one of those little like air can with a little bottle attached to it when I was a lot younger, let's just say. Okay, it's probably 40 odd years ago. But I never really got around to it. And over the last couple of years, last year kind of doesn't count, but over the last couple of years, I've been buying up pieces here and there to get ready to start painting some 3D models. It's the main goal. Might paint some shirts too, not sure. That looks like it's interesting. I could stencil things. But so tonight's plan is to finally start putting some of this stuff together and seeing what I can do with it. Seeing if I have absolutely any skill at this at all, or if it's gonna look like potato and mushy potato, and then we'll stop doing it. So I'm not gonna go over all the stuff that's laying here. We'll go through it in time. I'm using one of the things I'm using tonight is an orange mat that's not the famous branded one, mostly because I don't want to stain one of the famous branded ones. In my experiments with acrylic paints, I have some silicone beakers that I use for the resin because you can cure it and then just pop them out, flex it and pop them out, the junk out of it. And I tried to use those for water with acrylic paint with water, and I learned that the color goes into the silicone, so I don't want to wreck my slop mats. So I'm using a cheap one off Amazon right now, and if it gets stained, it won't matter. If I had a black one, I'd be using that, but I don't. So, and the blue ones are all under stuff. So anyway, so that's what the only standout thing that's not what you probably think it is. So I think the first thing we'll probably do is start assembling the airline. I've got a compressor. It's in the description of the video. 4 gallon, I think it is. It's a really quiet one. If it comes on, we probably won't hear it here. It's around the corner, just to get it way out of the way. And I've got a 50-foot hose. In slime green, of course, so it's easy to see, so I won't trip over it. And first thing I'm going to do is put together, use some Teflon tape here and put together this contraption, which is a regulator. What this is going to do is it's going to make sure that the air coming from the compressor, which was originally purchased mainly for using air power tools like nail guns and things like that, and it'll fill car tires and things like that. So I'm going to go double check, because I didn't do that yet, to double check what the setting is on it, and then we'll put this together and plug it all together and see what we get. So you're going to remind me to do that later, right? So I just laid this out today. This is just stuff from Amazon. And I'm kind of one fitting short, I found out today. So I'm not sure about this one right here. You can see it there. This is a, let's go to that cam. This is a manifold distributor, whatever you want to call it. The air will come in here, and then I'm going to have 2 airbrushes plugged in at once is the goal. These are just blank caps on it. But this fitting here isn't quite the right one. I don't think it's gonna. I will try it, see if it seals up. If not, I'll be Amazoning another one, and we'll just bypass this, and we'll just go with just one at a time for tonight. So let's see what we can do. Dana, how are you this fine and glorious evening? Thanks for coming over and checking this out. How's things in the part of the country where it's daylight still? Your country where it's daylight still, at least. Oh, good. Thank you. Yeah, see, the way I got this rigged up down here, I can't hear the music through the headset. When I'm upstairs on the Mac, I use loopback and I can hear the music. So I can do it. But I hate to correct you, but I have 5 camera angles down here. There's another one that's underneath the name badge. It's actually that one, which looks like absolutely nothing because I obviously knocked the little piece out of the way. Put something under it. There's a microscope can in the corner. It just hides down the corner because it doesn't do a lot. I rarely use it, but it's handy when I do if I have to show something. The main reason for having it is to show the layer lines and cracks in 3D printed stuff. But tonight, that's hopefully not on the agenda. Hopefully everything just works the way it's supposed to. Guess. Yeah, getting 5 cameras to work was a challenge. There's a nice word. It's a word I can say on all these platforms. The main reason for the background music is you're doing a stream where you're working on things. It's hard to be, I'm going to say this wrong, but Julie, the cruise director, and trying to keep everybody entertained when the main focus is to get the project done and share it. So music helps make up for those times when I'm sitting here thinking bad thoughts in my head and bad words. And you don't have to hear them all. Everything's slowly coming back together down here. We're getting there. I'm going to break any of these fittings because I'm fairly sure that some of this isn't the most high quality, but it's only got a whole 20 PSI probably, so maybe a bit more. And normally I would mount it using the mounting bracket here to wherever I was going to use it, but this is not the end result, the end goal for where this stuff is going to be. I've got to find somewhere in the house that's preferably near a window to vent the paint, whatever silly things I spray with. Because Canadian winters suck for spraying outside. Because you go out there and the stuff freezes and doesn't work very well. So, yeah, music just helps. I like to talk, and I can talk a lot, but I got to take a breath sometimes. Already taped that one up in it. We just hope that one will work. If not, we'll change plans quick. Yeah, the background music is Stream Beats. It's free. I just took every song that's in their library recently and put it into a YouTube music playlist, because I have, what do they call it, premium YouTube. I don't get commercials. The other part of that is you get YouTube music. And nobody's told me if there's any commercials that come up in it the last few days, so I guess it's okay. I just grabbed a handful of wrenches. Without even looking to see what ones I really needed. Still not there. All right. I remember using connectors, like pneumatic connectors like this. In one of my past lives, one of my first job actually. I used them a lot, and they seemed like they were a lot easier to connect and disconnect than these ones are. Probably because these ones are new. The other ones are probably worn out. But I don't know where that's going to go, so I guess we're going to find out. I got to go add some pressure in the other room. I didn't want it to be live with air pressure on it when I was putting it together. That could have been bad. Light noises. Disconnect sound while I there we go. Corinne's here too. Hello there, how are you? Thanks for stopping in. Sorry if that hissing noise was really bad, because the microphone's right there. Right there. So yeah, it's airbrushing season after many years and at least 2 years of buying stuff. I'm finally going to hopefully have air go through the thing and paint to go through the thing and stuff to spray out. That's the goal, at least. We'll see how that works. That's the compressor going. As compressors go, for the size of it, it's pretty quiet. But okay. Well, that was interesting. Okay. Now let's connect a couple of brushes and see what kind of trouble we can get into next. Where did I put the cup? The bits in it. And I've put it somewhere where I will never find it again. Oh well. Some of these. That one for tonight. All right. What's everyone else up to tonight? What's happening up in the northern part of our country? These are just very, very, very economical airbrushes. I couldn't believe how cheap they are. That's why I have two. I got two different colors so I could tell them apart. I don't think there's enough quality concerns between the two of them to worry about anything, but I thought most of the other stuff I can use it for something else, but I'm not going to spend a couple of $300 on airbrushes and find out that this isn't my thing. So, hey there, Craft Shack. How's things tonight? I know, paint. I know, isn't it weird? And it's not even the Walmart bottles that I used when I did this stuff on your show a couple of weeks ago. Pardon me. No, I bought one of the 6-color basic sets of airbrush stuff to try. Okay, one down. And I'm fairly sure that at some point I bought a little thing to let me switch airbrushes, like to put on here, to switch between them. But it could have been bought 2 years ago, and I just haven't come across it again yet. Well, that's cool. Oh, it's not the only thing that that I can't find that I bought more than once. It's kind of one of my things. I'll buy it. Thinking if there's anything here that I've bought. No, anything in this project right now that I've bought more than once. Somehow I ended up with an extra air hose, but I think one came with one of the brushes. But it's not very long. These are like 10 footers or something. And yes, if they made an orange one, I looked. I would have bought orange. I would have probably paid a bit more for an orange one. Just for effect. Look over by the bed. Yeah, God, that's another whole chapter. No, the printer that I put together on stream last night, it's been sitting in my hallway for at least a couple of months. It might have got here before Christmas. I can't remember. And I have one printer in a box still that I'm pretty sure was sometime in 2019. I bought it for what it does, and I've just never gone back to look into that way of printing. And then I've got another one I bought that it's a Delta, and Delta's a different style of printer. I just want one, but they're really tall, and I don't know how I'm going to build it down here. So, because it'll hit the overhead cam that's right here. So, speaking of, let's switch to that view, maybe. Today, I've also changed. Another thing I've changed. Now I want ice cream. Thanks, Corinne. Is it diabetic friendly ice cream? That'll probably stop me. I used to use I've been using a Wise Cam down here. Problem with the Wise Cam is that every time you reboot it, it gets new IP, and I'm too lazy to lock it to a static IP. And it's not made for live video. It's made for, watching your neighbor's cat rip up your garbage. It's not really meant for, I'm not saying that happens a lot. They also spray my front door, which is always appreciated. But I replay it with, now that I've got the iPhone working currently with Epoch Cam. Camo and XSplit are not friends still. And at least not in my setup. So I'm using another, for lack of a better term, C920 clone that I bought last year sometime when everything was so expensive, and it was one of the cheapest webcams I could get. And the cool thing about it is it has manual focus. So if we go to that one, I can go in close with it, and I can change the focus. So we can focus on the letters, we can focus on the tape and get my fingers out of the way. That's kind of the problem. But it's pretty slick. And I forget, like even back last year when I bought it last summer, fall, I think, it was only like $50-ish Canadian, which is kind of what C920s used to cost, which was my thinking. Because my whole problem down here started with two C920s that didn't get along. MJ, how are you? Thanks for stopping in tonight. Welcome to the show. Welcome to, maybe we'll get to do some airbrushing tonight. So, where am I at now? Played with the camera. Got this bit cup. Put this thing together. Just didn't get to that today. There's an NASCAR race on. I had to watch that. That's why I'm so late tonight. Seems like every time I thought, okay, I can stream now this afternoon, somebody else I knew personally was streaming. It's like, all right, I'd rather watch their show than do mine. So, I'm sure I'm crossing somebody up tonight, but that's the way it goes some days. One in there. 2 spares. Yes, happy Sunday. It is happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. That's all it does. Well, that's what it looks like on the box. Guess I should switch to a top cam so you can actually see some stuff. That actually works better. The camera adjusts better. It's darker. Interesting. All this just so I can squirt paint into it to clean up the brush. I think they give it a frosted color so you don't have to look at how yucky it looks. Kind of funny. Got lots of different cups. And This is bigger than I thought it was going to be. I don't know why I didn't like measure. I just took it at size it came and said, okay, go. I was testing some filament. This is for the 3D printing crowd. This is a new company, Canadian company. They're making their own filament in BC somewhere. And they're called Matter 3D. Not sponsored. All I got from them was a sample. I bought this. Bought 3 spools to help them get started and to test it out. And I wanted to try it. And it runs hot, but I was running at 250 on the nozzle, but it seems good. This is their natural. It's translucent, so we'll see how it holds up. I got some other projects I did. I haven't done a show and tell on it yet, so this is the first one I put on camera. Okay, let's organize this just a little bit more so that I don't end up knocking anything on the floor. Because that really should be connected somewhere. Okay, I should be able to put some hopefully we get away with it. That fitting that I didn't think was going to work is leaking because it bottoms out. It's not made right. I don't know where it came from. It was in the collection I have, so. And I don't think I have a better way to do that because it's the. Okay, what if I do this? Switch them just one at a time for now. Okay, this is gonna make noise. Didn't. Every time I did that when I worked in a place that had those, it would make noise. My magic collection. Uh-oh. Yeah, I can't attend that tonight. First time I've missed in a long time. StreamYard Town Hall night. How am I going to put that together differently? Well, I kind of suck at painting too. I really do. Ask Heather. You see me paint when she's been doing painting streams. So I'm hoping that in time I'll get better, or at least I'll be able to hide it better with layers. Yeah, this fitting's just useless. It's not. Wrong one. That one. Take one of these and put it straight on there. I don't think it's going to be any better. See, it fits okay there. Hopefully I can get that to work. I'll just bypass the second one. We'll find out in a minute which one I've got. Maybe it's just that hole. Maybe here's some soap and bubble water. It's the red one that I've got. One up there for now. Right now. And how am I going to fix that? It takes a long time to let that off. I really have to find that mug. I'm looking at where I thought I put it, and obviously I didn't. I know it's over by the bed. But the bed's upstairs. No, that's not where it is. It was here earlier today before I moved everything out of the way. Not far, but out of the way. I didn't think I was going to need it again. You know. Sure. As I said as a child. A lot. And get real lazy and put it in there. Well. There's more fittings in there. Heard it. See if there's anything else we can use to hook this together. Or we may be changing the script yet again. That doesn't match any of the ones I've got. It's the one that came with this. It's apart. And you know what? I could print one. I may yet. Have one of those. It's not going to work. Nope. Oh, come on. It really all hinges on this one crappy connector, which will be gone in a couple of days next time Amazon comes to my house, that's for sure, after this. I don't see the point to. Happy Sunday's getting scary now. Hi there, Vince. I appreciate you coming back for another night of watching. How are you at remotely repairing leaky pneumatic connectors? You might be around a few of these in your line of work for connecting airlines and such. This one's just hissing, leaking. And the thing is, it's got an O-ring in it. Like, it's not even really... I think that's part of the problem, is that this fitting that they give me is just straight threads. It's not national pipe thread, NPT. Long time I got to think back to high school and college for that stuff. But I don't think it's tapered. Like, these are all proper fittings. They have a taper to them so that when you put them together, they snug up. And if they're not quite the right size, they work. Where these are more like car tire valve glands. like where they just go together and they have an O-ring or a rubber gasket to make the seal. And that's okay, except these won't go deep enough to activate the seal. So, come on, guys. Hey, I wonder if that other cheap... Oh, it won't fit in the... It won't fit in the... those don't have the right... They don't fit the couplings right, because they're poorly copied. We'll just throw another round of tape on it. We might just have to wing it and just let the pump come on more for tonight. And I know I can print one, but it'll take way more than the time I'm willing to stay awake tonight. Just throw another layer of tape in it, and maybe it'll help. Probably not. Where that has to go. Pretty close hitting the O-ring. I don't care if I break it at this point. All right. Okay. It still hisses now. We're just going to go with it. Okay, let's set this down to... Oh, I don't hear hissing, so I guess I got lucky there. Or it'll just... Okay, so we're about 20 PSI. And from my vast research on YouTube, that seems to be a pretty decent place to start with this without shooting paint across the room. Anybody here has any experience with this stuff, let me know, because I'll take all advice. Okay, get rid of that. Recycle this week bucket. Every week is recycle here, but every other week for garbage. Can't miss those anymore. It's a month till the next one. Okay. So we're going to start with some just scribbling on painter thing. We're just going to start with some trying to figure out how to do this. So this one, I have some glasses, that'll probably help. I might sit down for this part. Just make things a little bit easier. Yeah, it's just the pad on the seat. What do you think? Okay, so all right, so I'll probably put a little bit of just plain water in it first. Just shoot some water around. Probably a lot. Cap on in case I turn it sideways too far. And let's just see what happens. Get some airflow. And we pull back. I'm not seeing any water come out. Now, the fact that I took this brush apart to learn how to clean them, you know, could have an effect. I use my wrong hand for this just so it shows better on camera. Switch to not that one, to that one. Probably a little bit better. Air coming out. But the needle's not moving back. This may also be because it's like a $20-odd airbrush. May have an effect. You never know. See what that does. Nope. Nope, nothing there. Never look in the end. I wasn't really sure what this was supposed to do. So it isn't doing nothing right now. I mean, it's moving, but nothing's working. You know what we do at this point? Switch brushes and see if the other one works better. It's down. There's a chance that I didn't get it back together quite right. I did not dismantle this one yet, so. Goes the cap. Let's put this one in. There we go. Yeah, please let me know if that camera gets out of focus. It's manual focus, so I kind of have to stay on top of it. A little bit of water. Yeah, I'll jump when the compressor comes on. Okay, what am I doing wrong at this point? I should be squirting water out. Do I need an expert? What do you do when it doesn't do what it's supposed to? That's not it. That's just a guard. Okay, there's something I'm really not getting on these things. Thought this would be a 2-hour stream, but if none of this stuff works, it's not gonna be. We're gonna have to come back and try again. One of those days when I probably should have tried this stuff first, but didn't have time for that today. The nozzle's moving. Maybe cheap air brushes aren't the answer. bubbling back up into the bowl, so it's going the right way. All right. What did I do wrong? What did whoever assembled this do wrong? I don't think I took this one apart. I think possible. The needle back a bit in case it just needs more room. Oh. Banging it on the table seems to help. Actually, it does. That's sad. Need more oomph? Maybe it just needs more. Oh, hey, that'll do it. Maybe I just needed to put more pressure to it. I guess that would make sense, wouldn't it? I think I went to school for mechanical engineering or something. Way back when. I was going to say before airbrushes were invented, but they probably were already. Oh, I ran out already. Can you see that we're laying down stuff? I'm left-handed. It would probably be better to do it this way. All right. Just a little wire. We don't have to worry about it a whole lot. Some people say you're not supposed to do that. I'm okay with it. I'm not using the custom stand. It's kind of big and bulky and in the wrong place. You really do need something to hold that, so just fly around. Okay, let's do some. Let's put some paint in it and just try it out. What a color that'll show up good. Some green. Skizzers. These are on the floor. These are, what are they called? Hematite. Loose beads are for jewelry making, but apparently they're better than steel balls for using to put in the paint bottles, so they have something to shake when you shake them. You know, like a rattle can. Same idea. But apparently you're supposed to put a couple of these in here. I can't remember how many, so we'll put 2 in for today. I didn't try and squirt it because there was a seal on top, which is probably good when they ship it from wherever it's made. Shoot a couple of these in. Guess that went in. I didn't hear it hit anywhere else. And yeah, I'm probably gonna, I don't know, I can hear them. That sounds pretty liquid to me. Okay, let's try this out. Getting excited now. And I got green paint on me, so I guess it's working. I do have gloves here. Just put a few drops of that in because we're not going to do much. And let's see if that works. around 30 for this one. Oh, I'm starting to get some green coming through. Wow. Yeah, I've watched all the videos that go, yeah, this is a bad brush because it sputters a lot. This one sputters a lot. Not that it'll take more than like a glimmer of hope for me to buy a better one. Spring for the 100 and change one. Try Badger or something. Whatever brand Amazon will send. Maybe too thick. I already took the seal off of this one. Mixed. A little bit of thinner reducer to make it flow better. And I don't know what that means. Except the paint isn't coming out. And we're still just over 30 psi, so it's not that. And I can hear it. I can see it pushing the water around. Well, that's kind of sad. Are we brave? There, it's real liquid now. Squirt all over. Oh, there we go. Another lesson learned. Oh, we're bubbling over the top. Bed's not level. Vince knows. My nozzle is clogged or the bed's not level. You know what? It probably is a clogged nozzle, but I have to go watch another video to remember how to fix it. Oh. All I have to do is thin the paint down enough. Nice, I bought airbrush paint, so I wouldn't have to fiddle around with that. Did we just run out? No. I think the nozzle just clogs up easy. That's my bet. Yeah, I wish I put those gloves on. I'm picking paint off my hands later. That was kind of mean. There's air, back is paint. It's not doing any. until I do one of these. I can't write words because this isn't my writing hand. I'm left-handed, so. The cavalry. Hi there, Bionic00. How are you? Thanks for stopping in to watch me sputter paint. Then it just stops. I don't have any experience. I don't know if that's the way it's supposed to work or not. I'm pretty sure not. Pretty sure the people know what they're doing. They spray until they run out of paint. I still have paint. And I put a bunch of reducer in. It's like water in there. I'm gonna have to reach out to Joe in Malta. He knows this stuff way better than I do. Maybe I'll have to take some time off work tomorrow and see if he can give me some pointers. Time zones and all, you know. Okay, well, now that we know that part of the pressure secret was that, let's just park this one for a couple of minutes and hope that it doesn't fail some other way. Let's not do that. Yeah, I don't think it's working right. Yeah, I don't think it's not working the way it's supposed to, at least, but now this one I did take apart because the nozzle didn't seem to be working on it, but they're just cheap Amazon, like literally the cheapest ones you can get. Up here in Amazon Canada, they go from around $20 range, and then they tend to jump to $100, or it's like $50 and they come with hoses and stuff, which I've already got. And the $50 pack has the same brushes in it as the $20 brush. This doesn't come with all, has all the stuff with it. So I was like, all right. So I think that one came with a hose when I bought it a while back, like a year or more ago, probably 2 years ago at least. And somewhere I have a really old one that belonged to my late uncle that he used for doing fishing lures back 20, 15 years ago at least. And it's in a box somewhere. I just don't know where. I haven't seen it in years. But hopefully when I come across it, I think it's a Badger. I found the box, but I don't know where the brush is. There's a chance that I never had the brush. All I had was the box, but that the brush was in something else that got in with tools when we... Okay, let's try a different color. Just to, just to be different here. Yeah, I don't think it's quite doing what it's supposed to. Okay, that one's been open. Oh, because I used that one for some other painting one day a while ago. For my little bag of beads. At least this made sense to me. If you get some... First I was going to use like just steel ball bearings. I read somebody's like the stainless bearings that you can buy on Amazon generally aren't. They might be sort of chromed at best, but they're certainly not stainless. And that in the paint after a year or so, I think it said 6 months, but some people said less, that it that they rust, which are stainless, right? So then somebody's like, well, no, use these. These are like a hematite is like a rock more. so it doesn't rust. All right. So, and I'm going to make one of the little machines for shaking these. I'm not going to pay $40 for one because I can make stuff, right? I got a 3D printer. I can easily use thousands of dollars of equipment to make a $40 thing. I got two ideas. One is I've seen somebody was using an electric toothbrush. I was like, I don't know. But recently I have one that I use, just a cheap electric toothbrush, battery operated one that I use for cleaning resin prints. Works really good, except that either the isopropyl alcohol or the resin attacked the plastic and it broke. So I think it was the isopropyl. I think I left it sitting on a paper towel with isopropyl. But anyway, it didn't like it. It came apart. So I'm going to take it. I'm going to open it up and see how it actually works. And then see if I can use it and do something with it, maybe, or at least use that technology. It looks like it's just a magnet and it induces vibration, but we'll see. There's a couple of plans. And let's just get ahead of the curve on this one. That's just flies out of there, doesn't it? Red shooting all over the place. Okay, I gotta watch. That's not really pushing much air up there. They were bubbling like a cauldron. It worked on the other one. This is the one I really took apart, and there's a good chance that I didn't put it back together, right? But we had to try, right? There's also the one with pull the needle back a bit, which should open it up more. Wow. There we go. That's where I need that thing that times out. And lots of airflow, but not any paint flow on this one. I don't know why that works, but it's getting some paint that time because it's got a little bit of red color to it. You probably can't see in all the orange. For this part. Weird. Paint in there. Now it'll squirt out all over my hand, but that's alright. Acrylic. It's not hurt anything. Oh, he's putting holes in the cardboard. Means I'm hitting it hard enough. And it's bubbling up. Squirting out the blowhole like a whale. Well, this is not quite what I hoped I'd be doing. I was hoping we'd be laying some paint onto a base for an Iron Man model, because it's not going to take any controllable detail to paint the base, which is just that. But I figured I'd just coat that with lots of paint and get a good primer on it, and then put some gray and use gray primer, save a step. And that's kind of my plan. Sometimes plans don't work out, and even like 2 brushes, you get them to do what they're supposed to. At least not what I think they're supposed to. That's the other thing I bought that I can't find is the disconnects. I bought those many years ago. Maybe we need more oomph. Now, I just cranked that up to where it needs to sit for a while to soften up. Let me put the reducer in. Okay, now we could be out of paint. Yep. Well, that was interesting. So by letting it sit for a while, either it loosened up or the fact that I cranked up the pressure a bit. Okay, well, I'm going to go increase the pressure because I only had it set, I think, at maximum 40 on the compressor. I'm going to, first of all, just double check that that's still moderately safe. Thanks, Google. Typically between 10 and 25 psi. And it took almost 40 to get mine to spray. Okay, maybe we won't go turn it up much higher then. Okay, well, let's just forget the other brush and let's just add some different color to this one. Let's try it different this time. Let's put a little bit of thinner in first. Yeah, this is just messy. Their delivery system is not the bestest. Color can we mix with that? Let's mix in some. No, those are, don't use those. Let's put a little bit of blue in it. Let's use red and make it brown. That's way too much pressure. coat in the neighborhood. Go back to my original 20 range that I was kind of looking for. I know I should probably clean that up. We're just messing around. We've had a little stick they were using for doing that. I don't really have anything. I suspect I'll be collecting some. This is the thing, I've got these little makeup things for putting eyes on things that are really small. I did read that sometimes the needles are kind of rough on the cheap ones, and if you polish them up with some polishing compound, they work a lot better. I do have some of that, so maybe I'll try that. Not tonight, of course, but all right. Well, I'm ready to say let's just clean this out and then try putting some primer on that base and just try it. Not like we can hurt it. I can always just paint it again. Well, like the cool guys have a big bucket on the floor to put theirs in. Well, that's all you're good for. So far, at least we've made a mess on a piece of cardboard, so I guess that's some progress. Didn't even get to use the spray booth to stop the spray from going over the room because I haven't really generated enough yet. There's the cleaner one. Brush cleaner, I forget what it's gonna. Yeah, I've got the recipes to make my own of all of these because stuff's ridiculously expensive, it seems, for a hobbyist. I know I'll use a little dribble at a time, but still. Look, it makes pink bubbles from the red. Huh. Look at that. That's what this one's for. Although being red doesn't help. Yeah, something's sticking somewhere. It's still shooting. Okay, good enough. This isn't a paid product. This is just messing around. Learning. Some might say tinkering. Okay, seeing as this is going to be a rock, I've got 3 colors of Easy App Surface Primer from Sinlorez. I don't know. The Badger people make it. Simple and easy. Simple and easy application. We're in. Self-leveling, blah, blah, blah. Very hard to flat finish. Some plastics, metals, woods, resin, various other substrates. Simple and easy cleanup even. This stuff isn't cheap either. None of this stuff is. It's like people make money with this or something. They certainly charge enough money for it. That's it. See if anybody I know knows the secret to finding better prices on this stuff, preferably in Canada. If I can use too much of it, but I'm pretty sure this will hold me for a couple of months anyways. This primer. White, black. You could use black, but seeing as it's a black plastic, I think I'll use gray. It could be enough of a base coat anyways. Probably just, I could clean that better, but I'm not gonna for now. Let's see what this stuff's like. It's probably thicker, I guess. Get some hematite balls. Again, thanks Amazon. Oh, I was wondering what the round plastic spool-like thing was. It's got thread on it because this is for beadwork. It's their intended market. There, you can have 3. Let's buy more. Maybe. I'm sure that isn't quite shaken enough. That might be part of my problem. It's been sitting since whenever it was made, so. It may be that it requires a little bit more mixing than what I'm giving it tonight, but so I gotta figure out how to do that. Make a shaker. I just put them in randomly and keep them shook up. Or I'll get mad and just buy one. Okay, for this round, this one I will put a glove on because I'll be holding the thing and trying to hit it with paint. Not that I think it's going to put enough out there to really do it, but Iron Man base. Iron Man's all printed resin. This was printed on the Ursa Mark III, and what we'll probably find in this, I don't know what settings I used when I did it, but I was still picking off big pieces of support off it today. Got it out, thought, oh, I can paint that. That'll be great. And I looked at it closer, and it had a whole bunch of support junk, like some bigger one. I have no idea. I didn't notice before. Yeah, still some green in there, but oh well. I have to put the some of this in. Well, not too much, because I want this to be thicker. Lid on. Alright, it's just oozing over there. Well, that didn't quite work the way I planned it. Okay, let's try and do this so you can see it. Hey, what do we think about that? Wow, hour and 24 minutes and finally got paint to go onto something. Try taking that down a bit. Maybe that's a bit too hot. Yeah, that's why I thought this was supposed to work. Of course, the hand that I'm holding doesn't have a glove on. Fix that. I'm gonna use my other hand so you can see it on camera better. I'm left-handed, but I do so much stuff with my... I know, right? It's finally working. Oh, I just learned another rule. Don't lay the gun down on its side because all your paint will just flow out through the not sealing lid. I think that's what that holder thing is for that I made. Well, this is how we learn. Yep. Now I have paint on my mouse too, or my trackball too. Yeah, we're learning. I'm learning that trackball doesn't want to move right now for some reason. Weird. It's getting light in through the bottom. Surprising nobody's here going, wait, you're going to get paint on one of your LTMW shirts. Well, A, I can always make more right over there. And B, this is one of the first ones. The letters are starting to lift. The first ones I made for Murph, a lot of the letters didn't stick that well. I didn't know didn't have the settings done right. I was making them literally till 2 o'clock in the morning, 2 or 3 days before the show. Take them, give them to people. So I'm sure some of them are falling apart. Nobody said much yet, but I've seen pictures of a couple of the other ones I made at that time. And the letters are coming off. Hey, it was the thought that counted. That's what I'm going with. Maybe this paint is just either better than the other stuff. I don't know. I'll do some research there. I don't know how much I need, so let's just go with that. We'll try not to put the brush on the ground on its side this time. This is messy. As he just smears more of it across the thing that it probably won't come off of, but that's all right. This is going to be my paint mat. Watch, now it won't work. Oh, it's too low. I'm not supposed to do that. Yeah, I don't understand why it kind of goes and doesn't go. Oh, yeah, that's going to work. Let's minimize the chance of me just shooting that right at the monitor. There you go. Just shoot across the room. Heavy nozzle clogging up on it. The pressure's way too high by the sound of it. Can't even see where it's going. It's in the shadow. Oh, there we go. All right, now we got low. So it means it should. I think it just jams up. It's weird. Probably a finer control. It works so good for a minute, and then it just goes nuts again. I have to mark some points in this and ask some of the 3D printing people that do airbrushing and see if they can tell me what I'm doing wrong. I'm rocking back the way I'm supposed to. Down and back, down and back. And we're using air because the compressor came on again. Can you even hear that? Guess I'll check later. I guess I didn't jump this time. Maybe when I tilted it over, I got paint somewhere I'm not supposed to. Yeah, maybe when I tilted it, something, paint got in somewhere it's not supposed to and jammed it up inside. I know they plug a lot. I'm watching enough videos where people were like, oh yeah, this is how you unclog it. I was like, well, what does a clog look like? I think I know now. We're going to have to reach out to the hive and see what I can come up with. Some more thinner in there. Take the last time it seemed like the pressure really made a difference. It could be part of that needle thing. The needles and the cheap ones are not smooth enough to work, and that's why you get a lot of sputtering and things, but this just isn't working. Oh, it works so good for like 30 seconds out of 2 hours. Hour and a half. And I haven't changed any other settings on the brush, so it's not like I've changed the stroke on the needle or anything. It did that just fine. It did that, but it doesn't want to do anything else. Good evening, to Fancy. How are you this fine and glorious evening? Yes, of course I have orange gloves. Gotta stay with the branding, man. I have cheap white ones I use with the resin stuff. How's your airbrush experience there, sir? Took us a while. We got some paint to come out of it. Enough to scribble and do like graffiti with. And then I put some, what I would call better branded paint, some primer in it to paint this base up, to start painting it. I got brave and it flowed really well for a while, and then it stopped. I don't think Matt's used a airbrush much, has he? Yeah, he probably has. That's a good point. Ask him too. Yeah. See, that's a good question. Don't ask the music kid, ask the art kid. Damn. I don't know anything. Good thing you're smarter than me. Yeah, I got it. The other kid question. I got what you meant. I ask him right now, but I don't think this is a right now solution. I got a feeling the gun's jammed up. I also laid it down on its side to put more paint in it, to get the paint to put more paint in, and it ran all over. So I may have got paint where it's not supposed to go inside the gun too. Just not sure. Thanks for stopping in though, to give me good ideas. Well, we've that's really a bummer. I'm not aware of anything. I don't remember watching video about anything I can do when it does this. But I'll be watching some after this tonight. That's for sure. Just take some of it apart. Live on the edge. Maybe you can see the... Try and hold it still enough. Yeah, the needle isn't even moving right now. If you can see the needle. Try to focus it. Can I focus on it that close? Ooh. Yeah, I kind of can. It's kind of all right, right? You can see the needle sticking out the end here, right? Well, when I pull back like this on the trigger, push down, you get airflow. And then you're supposed to, as you pull it back, that needle should pull, and that gives it more room to pull more paint through from the bucket. It goes down through the tip. That's kind of how they work. But I didn't see the needle even moving. Maybe I just can't see the needle. Maybe what I'm looking at isn't even the needle. There it is. See that big piece of goop? Well, maybe that's part of it. Maybe that wasn't right. So much to learn. Can't do that right now. Basically just a guard and stop it from flying sideways. Muzzle. The part I'm not sure about is how you set, when you put it back together, how you set the depth of the needle. How far does it go into the tip? Like, do you set it to the tip so that it's closed, which would make sense, and then when you pull it back, you should pull it back out of the hole, which it does. And hey, look at that. Paint it quick while I got it working. I'm not even putting the covers back on. I'm going to get this over here. And it's done. What's wrong with the painting? Okay, I'll paint with little bits of paint. Oh, really nice candy stripes. I found some more, you can see right there, there's some support material I didn't get. I was cleaning it out today. And if I was brave enough to put the brush down to pick it out, I would, but I think we'll do that with some other later coats. I'll pick it off later. It'll be a dark spot. I'll be putting some black in there later anyway. While it's flowing paint, I'm not stopping, okay? If anybody says anything else or needs anything, I'll get to it when I get to my run of the paint, which is getting pretty close. Or we learn not to lean it on its side. Thin the paint a bit. It's kind of working the way it's supposed to now. Maybe having the nozzle, the needle set right kind of helps too. Just don't know. Right now, it's doing stuff. And that's all that matters. Use the painted gloves to focus in on it. It's always good. This is more like the way I thought it would work when I watched too many YouTube videos. We're just over 20 psi on the regulator here. A little bit thick there, but it's all right. I think the way the air just kind of smooths it out when I put too much on it, just kind of blows it around. Oh, we're out of paint. Okay, let's give it another just a little bit. We don't have much to do, but it's empty. Future gone. Nothing compared to the amount that I poured on the thing earlier. This is a good piece to start on because it doesn't really matter how it looks. It's not really the focal point of the model when it's all put together anyway. It'll be the big Iron Man in red and gold, hopefully, at the end. Yeah, that should be good. So. About that. Now the reason I can tell that it's putting down paint is it gets shiny for a couple of seconds before it dries. Okay, that part's gonna really bug me. Just hang that there for a second. And I don't think I have a... Really picking that out there. Not the right tool for this, but all my little key things are in the other room. So right now, this is my hammer. Break the bond at the base, it should just fall off. But for some reason, this stuff was just, I don't know what the settings were. This was a long time ago I printed this. Time last year. I remember putting the model outside on the back porch in the sunshine to finish curing, so the resin part. So it was a while ago. support. It must have been auto support settings because there was support in places where it really didn't need any at all. And it put tons of it in there. But once you put the primer coat on, you can see all the places where there's problems. And on some prints, you would go back and fill those spots in. But seeing as this is supposed to be rock and stuff, it's not really important. It's a lot easier to see black plastic when it's changed to light gray, that's for sure. So what do you think? I think it's doing a pretty good job, though. I didn't say I'm doing a good job. I said it's doing a good job. I'm fishing for compliments, that's for sure. Pieces in the middle, absolutely nowhere. That'll work. Let's see if we can still. Oh no, we can't squirt any paint out of that. A little bit more. Dribble it all over the place. Go back and do those parts right there. That part. See, there's a bunch of yuck in it. It's hard for me to get it too close to something. So this is supposed to be like maybe wood, I don't know. Probably don't know the part of the story where this comes from, so I'll look at some pictures before I get too carried away. For tonight, this is a great way to do it. Noble. Near the end. But I think that's pretty much as I wanted to do with that for tonight. Worked out all right. After a lot of trial and error. Oh, cool. Hope you had a good meeting. Hope it went smooth. Hope Zoom didn't let you down. And thanks for continuing to have the channel connected while you're in the other one. Glad your internet could take that load. You missed all the excitement of not being able to paint at all, to painting and spattering, and but it's working now. So I think before I do any more, I think for tonight this is going to be about it. And I know it finally worked. Oh, it's way faster than doing it with a brush. And it's not as much this time of year, but one of the problems in my neighborhood is winter is too cold to use rattle cans outside. The paint actually freezes before you get it back in the house most days, even if it's not super cold, because it vents off and it just doesn't paint very well. And I tried clear coating some stuff in the winter this year again, and it just doesn't work well. Just back together and see if it even goes back together. I need to watch some more on what this thing's for, because it doesn't seem to do anything. So I'm going to do some more research, watch some more videos on how you clean the guns, and I'll do that tonight, but the way I think to do it to get them sort of clean. But to try and fix some of my didn't work, does work, doesn't work issues. Interesting. See why some people find this relaxing when it works. Yeah. I know I took the red one apart because the needle wasn't moving right, because they're cheap. I didn't expect them to be great. And I saw a guy's video about how to clean it and polish the needle so that it's smoother, so that it runs better, doesn't squirt and spatter as much. So I've got some polishing compound I'm going to try on it, but I just haven't got to it yet. I wanted to kind of try it as is and see how bad it was, and it's not great. So, and then this one finally got it to work. And when I use the Createx or whatever they are, airbrush paints, basic starter set that I bought, even with a bunch of reducer to thin them down, it was still, I think, too thick for it. And then cranking up the air pressure helped, but it's higher than what everybody says you should use, 10 to 25, and I'm running it close to 30 now, and it's working at, when I hit 40, and that's when it started to paint, scored enough paint out of it. And I've learned a little bit about how to adjust the depth of the needle to get it so that it's the right spot, so that the paint actually flows. On that one, I might have the needle too far in, that it doesn't pull out, or I don't know. Anyway, it's not doing its thing right. Yeah, this is something I printed. This is this is the base for Iron Man statue that I printed, somebody else's model. Sanix, he does nice work. And it'll stand about, I think he stands with that tall on top of it. He's all printed upstairs in a box waiting. I printed it last year sometime, best of my recollection. This was printed on the FDM printers. The Iron Man part was printed on the resin printer. So it's in, right now it's a clear, translucent red. And I'm deciding, I've got some pearl yellow that kind of looks like gold, so I might try and do that. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. So Yeah, it's troubleshooting. It seems I've never done it before, and I've never been around anybody that does it in person. I've watched lots of videos, of course, and I've watched friends do it, and it's like, oh, that's all right. Looks easy enough. No, it's not. I know there's issues, there always is, but at least we got paint to come out of it. We got some primer on this. The primer printed, came through the guns better than the other airbrush paint does. Different brands. So that's not bad. I figured this was a good thing to start with because I really can't hurt it. It's just rocks and stuff and wood and things anyway. So it's just the base. It's not the focus of the piece when it's done. So the idea was to get some gray on it tonight and see how that went, and we've met that goal. So I think for tonight, before I mess it up by trying to add other colors when the guns are shooting paint all over the place, I'll do a little bit of learning, and if I have to, I'll buy a better airbrush if that'll help the random shooting of stuff around. Because I certainly wasn't getting the, oh, pull it back a bit, get a thin line of paint, and then pull it back for a thicker one. I certainly wasn't getting that out of it. Yeah, I figured it's going to be a pain tonight. I'll watch a refresher video on how to clean it, and then I'll sit down and clean them all out tonight. But I won't want to make all of you sit through that, that's for sure. So I think for tonight, we're going to call it there. And I'll keep that moist just another couple of minutes before I get back to it. And thanks everyone for joining us tonight. Get it, just keep it on. I'm gonna keep working here anyway. I'll use the most like this. Man, that most really doesn't like something over here. Okay, thank you all for joining in on tonight's fun and helping me out get this stuff working. I hope to see you again tomorrow for something else. I'm not sure what yet. Haven't really decided. Depends how tomorrow goes. And check whose comment that was, if it's anything I have to answer. Yeah, I know, alive while it's happening. Actually alive. Weird, eh? And this is not easy to do with a glove on, that's for sure. Anyway. Okay, thanks everybody for stopping in. And tonight, we actually did not let the machines win. So, branding. Because we kind of triumphed over it a little bit, at least. And it was winning earlier, that's for sure. So remember to be safe, never let the machines win, and we'll see you next time.